killed Taylor Pettis.
Coming up, drug dealers accused of renting out Metro homes just to turn them into pot farms. Plus, the owner of a storm shelter company finally answers to customer complaints over bad installation.
Volkswagen Golf was just named Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year. So was the 100% electric e-Golf and the 45 Highway MPG TDI Clean Diesel. And last but not least, the high-performance GTI. Looks like we're going to need a bigger podium. The Volkswagen Golf family, Motor Trend's 2015 Cars of the Year.
Only 6 late shows left. Tonight, Dave welcomes Julia Roberts.
The final 4 Amazing Race teams head home for a Texas-sized finale.
This is awesome!
3 started as blind daters. 1 as a dating couple.
Come on, please.
Now they're headed to the finish line.
Oh my God.
For $1 million.
Woo!
Don't miss the Amazing Race season finale, CBS Friday.
Right now on 9, the tornado turned their house upside down. Why their landlord said they'd be arrested if they went in to retrieve their belongings. And collapsing storm shelters, what the man installing them blames. Plus, a new tool that could provide even faster warning when tornadoes approach. And we want to put $1,000 in your hand. Your chance to win is moments away.
This is Oklahoma's own News 9 in high definition.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Rain is in the state tonight, and even more is in the forecast.
We're already dealing with some flooding, and David is tracking another chance for storms, another round of it. Here he is now with the latest. And David, more going on out there right now.
Yeah, you know, a little bit, guys. The first wave of rain now, that's in northeastern Oklahoma into Kansas, moving away from us. That's what came through earlier in the day. But now we're watching this. Just a little bit of an uptick in the showers and thunderstorms. This is actually on the upper storm system that is in southwestern Oklahoma. These are not severe. You're going to have some small hail, maybe some nickel and dime size hail, gusty winds 40 miles per hour, and that includes from Elk City back down to just north of Hollis, and then also now just roll through Lawton. That's going to head up towards Chickasha, cross Highway 81 near Marlow and Duncan, and that as well moving off to the northeast. But again, these are not severe. Lightning and thunder, heavy downpours of rain, and then they will continue to push off to the northeast. I think this first batch in the southwest will make Oklahoma City. Timeline on that at about 11:55. That'll be pretty close to midnight, but again, not severe. Maybe a little bit of lightning and thunder out of that. 9-day forecast, more storms ahead, and severe weather forecast coming up. Guys, back to you.
All right, David, want to hear all about it. Now to a developing story tonight. A Bridge Creek family already left homeless by last Wednesday's tornado says they're being victimized again, this time by their landlord. News 9's Steve Shaw is looking into the situation. He's live in the newsroom. Steve?
Kelly, James Sperry and his sister Tammy are disabled. With his daughter and a caregiver, they all moved into Country Mobile Home Park in Bridge Creek a month ago.
We had just paid our rent on the 2nd.
You can see the fear in Tammy Sipes' eyes.
Very frustrating. I lost everything. Only thing I have is what we have on our back.
Tammy and her brother James are desperate because they claim their landlord, Rex Carr,
it just made me sick. You know, I'm 72 years old. And
threatened to have them arrested if they tried to come back to their mobile home and tried to retrieve their medicines and other valuables. The tornado did turn their mobile home literally upside down, but other family members have been willing to go in at their own risk anyway and look.
And he told me, he said, if I have to notify the sheriff's office, I will, because there's no one allowed in that trailer, period.
When did he say that?
He told me that today. He told me that the other day. Now he's telling me it's going to be sometime next week. before I could get anything out of there.
Grady County Sheriff Jim Weir told me Wednesday afternoon, according to Oklahoma's Landlord-Tenant Act, unless these folks have been evicted, they have a right to go in there and get their stuff.
I need my medicine.
Wednesday night, we talked to Rex Carr's wife. She says they both now agree it's okay for Tammy and James Sperry's family to go in at their own risk and salvage what they can.
Everything we own is in there.
James Sperry says he paid Rex Carr $650 for May rent 4 days before the May 6 tornado. He says Carr has refused to refund May's rent. Steve Shaw, News 9.
All right, Steve, we're also tracking crime tonight. We now know what led up to the deaths of a couple Friday right inside their home at Northwest 11th and Villa. A new warrant out says a man called 911 saying his roommate was drunk. He pulled a gun on him and was threatening to kill his own girlfriend and himself. The caller says he escaped through a window. Police issue a new arrest warrant in the death of a man gunned down back in March at a park near Southwest 15th and Penn. Samuel Tubbs is wanted for the first-degree murder of Curly Harper. His girlfriend and sister carried him to the street for help, but he could not be saved. And we have new details in the investigation surrounding a marijuana grow house right in Edmond. Police now believe there may be others across the metro, and the scheme does not stop there. Our News 9's Evan Anderson is live near Kelly and Edmond Road with the latest. Evan?
Yeah, Amanda, more than 250 marijuana plants were found here inside this home back in April. Edmond police say this is now a multi-agency investigation, one that crosses state lines.
A few days after the big bust, Midwest City Police contacted Edmond investigators saying they had a similar grow house back in 2013.
That conversation then it expands to DEA out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, investigating one of these suspects.
According to court documents, items left in the Edmond rental home lead to 3 suspects. Those items were paper receipts, a bill of insurance, and a paper tag from a Honda dealership. Investigators say since January 2014, Vu Win Lee, Fong Hu Win, and Hu Chai Pham have been growing marijuana in the Edmond home, but it's not their first drug operation.
There's a multiple year history here, not just in Oklahoma, but across the country. All of the drug houses, the way that they're set up, seem to be set up the same way.
Documents reveal the DEA in Fort Smith, Arkansas had a similar investigation in 2013 involving Vietnamese men growing marijuana inside rent houses. One of them under investigation was Hu Pham. Just last week, Vu Lee was arrested by Oklahoma City Police after officers found 15 pounds of marijuana inside his car. Lee then led investigators to another stash house where another 20 pounds was discovered.
It was the tipping point for our case.
This case is now in the hands of the Oklahoma County DA. All 3 suspects face several criminal complaints. Live in Edmond tonight, Evan Anderson, News 9.
All right, Evan, happening now. The search is on for a man accused of using his phone to see up a woman's skirt. Police say he was caught on a security camera at a gas station near Northwest 23rd and Council. We're told the customer saw the crime and alerted the victim. Also tonight, police are trying to identify a man suspected of raping a woman last month after saying he would give her a ride home from Remington Park. Police say the victim tells them the man took her to the area of Northeast 23rd and MLK where he attacked her. If you have any information on that, call Crime Stoppers. And the manager of a Metro Long John Silver says a man held him up today, stabbed him, and then took off with some money. He says it happened before he opened the store today at Northwest 12th and I-35 down in Moore. But right now he's recovering with minor injuries, and so far there are no arrests.
New here at 10 o'clock, a Metro couple's storm shelter turns into a crumpled mess, and they say the man who installed it needs to make it right. News 9's Jolene Cheney tracks him down to get some answers. Jolene?
Well, Amanda, this isn't the first time we've been contacted about this company, but it's the first time in a while anyone has been able to find him.
The sides were caving in, the roof was caving in. I mean, this thing was smashing like a beer can.
It's on the ground now, David.
Sounds like what something looks like after a tornado. Most certainly not before, let alone a storm shelter. But now Ernie and his wife don't even have that. The only thing in their backyard is fresh dirt after Ernie pulled out the shelter himself and filled in the hole.
Well, I had to pull it out because he called me and told me that he couldn't, that he didn't have the machine anymore.
He used his own backhoe, which he says probably wasn't the best idea, but the shelter was crumbling. and taking in a lot of water.
You can see the rust all the way up.
He decided not to bring the other one out. He picked up the old one, and away he went.
The Von Bushes say they tried to contact the owner of Common Ground Storm Shelter so many times they lost count, and when that didn't work, they contacted the Attorney General's office. We're told John Keeley dodged the AG's office, too. However, he did exchange several texts with Ernie. This is the last one.
In 90 days, if you want to judgment, I won't fight it.
He also gave his home address, which News 9 used to track him down. He admitted the way he was installing shelters wasn't right, and here's why.
The soil will exert so much pressure that over time, any of them are capable of collapsing. I am completely sorry, and we are going to make that right if it's the last thing that I do.
And Ernie and his wife are out several $1,000s. The Attorney General's office takes cases like this very seriously and wants them to be reported. We've listed tips to follow and more information over on our website at news9.com.
Hopefully that company will keep his word, make things right. Out of the Capitol now, Governor Mary Fallin signs a bill paving the way for armed school employees. The law allows school boards to designate school employees to carry a gun. They have to attend a training program. Supporters say the new law will provide protection from armed intruders. Today, the House passes a resolution calling on the President and Congress to reaffirm the nation's commitments to protecting religious freedom. The measure's author, Representative Sally Kern, says the Christian faith is restricted and a growing number of Christians are being killed for practicing their faith.
Coming up next on News 9, the toy that weather experts say could triple the warning time during tornado season.
Another wave of rain and storms moving across Oklahoma, but this is just the beginning. More storms ahead of us. What about severe weather? Your forecast coming up next.
And we want to put $1 grand in your hand. Your chance to win coming up after the break.
It's on the ground.
Oklahomans get more than their fair share of dangerous weather.
I had a niece that was direct hit in Moore.
Dr. Phil came to News 9 to share advice for adults and children.
That's where they feel the anxiety building up.
With another round of severe weather in the forecast, get strategies to prepare.
If you do that as a family exercise, it can be a very positive thing that replaces anxiety with action.
Thursday night at 10 on News 9.
Mayday, Mayday.
It's an automotive savings alert.
Only in Midwest City. David Stanley, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge.
Our 2 biggest offers of the year.
Purchase any new vehicle.
And if we can't lower your current car payment, we'll make your next 3 payments.
Mayday, Mayday. Upside down in that old ride, get up to $12,000 negative equity assistance to get you right side up. Only at David Stanley, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
Across from Tinker in Midwest City. DavidStanleyDodge.com.
Upper crust wood-fired pizza, artisan pizza, unique sandwiches, and traditional Italian favorites, hot and fresh. Meet at the bar and choose from our extensive wine list. Upper crust wood-fired pizza, class and curve, and now open in Edmond.
Automax Hyundai, Oklahoma's #1 seller of new Hyundais, has issued a statewide inventory alert.
The lowest payments of the year.
And for this full-blown alert, you can buy any new Hyundai in stock and get 0% financing for up to 72 months with payments starting at $219 a month. Or pay nothing down and take up to $5,000 off every Elantra. Or take up to $7,000 off every Sonata.
Cash in on this special one-time event.
It's a statewide inventory alert.
The deals are automatic at Automax.
What can you count on these days? Absolutely, always, 100% count on. Sunrise and sunset, friends and family. And then there's the AAA tow truck. If only auto insurance could be that dependable. Oh wait, it is. Welcome to insurance the AAA way. Friendly, helpful, and just as dependable as everything else AAA does.
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet.
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet.
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet. Come on down and join our family, and we'll shake on it.
Knippelmeyer Chevrolet.
Upper crust wood-fired pizza, class and curve, and now open in Edmond.
High-definition programming on News 9, sponsored by Cox, Oklahoma City's best choice for HD. You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 in high definition.
I'll tell you, it was a close call for two boys who were swept out into Lake Eufaula by floodwaters. The boys were in the water for about 3 hours. 3 hours when a woman saw them and called for help. Troopers then came to the rescue.
You boys learned a lesson today?
Yeah, that don't go out when the water's flooded.
And never get that far out in the lake without an adult around and with no life jacket on.
I think they learned their lesson. The boys say they are grounded and they plan to stay out of the water for a while. Good idea. New research here in Oklahoma is aimed at increasing warning times before severe weather strikes, making storm season safer.
Part of the work is happening at the University of Oklahoma, where weather watches are issued for nearly every state. Tonight, our chief meteorologist, David Payne, looks into weather drones.
We got power flashes. It's in a heavily populated area right now.
More 2013. The official warning 16 minutes before the tornado hit Newcastle.
Huge debris. It looks like roofs flying in the air.
Broken Arrow 2013. A 2-minute advance warning of a small but damaging tornado.
That is a monster tornado.
Joplin 2011. Sirens first sounded 24 minutes before the tornado killed 161 people. What if a drone or unmanned aerial vehicle, as the forecasters prefer to call them, could mean much earlier warnings or warnings where there are now none?
This is groundbreaking. I mean, this is a game changer.
OU meteorology professor Philip Chilson and researchers at the National Weather Center are using hobbyist-style remote airplanes. About 2 pounds and 2 feet long, with speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour and decked out with high-tech sensors.
How often can you say that you go out and play with toys as part of your research and actually do something meaningful for your science?
Right now, when making forecasts, we use radar, satellites, and balloons to check conditions in the upper and middle atmosphere. Conditions at the surface where we live are observed by instruments and people. But there is a small gap in the lower atmosphere where a UAV could make a big difference.
It allows you to get into areas which would normally be inaccessible.
Some experts predict that ability could increase tornado warnings from 20 to 60 minutes. The problem now is when conditions are ripe for storms, forecasters don't know exactly where or when one will trigger a tornado.
These are experiments that have yet to be done, to my knowledge, and until they are, you can't make definitive statements that they're going to drastically change the state of forecasting.
The holdup to learning more is the FAA, which is nearly grounding research efforts while it studies how manned and unmanned aircraft can exist in harmony in the nation's airspace.
You know, it'll be another piece of the puzzle and better, predict what's going to happen.
There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that if we have the capability to fly these types of platforms and make measurements of the lower atmosphere, that it will improve forecast, increase lead times, and increase the general safety of the public.
It's going to be interesting to follow that over the next couple of years.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And we use computer forecasting models to forecast 10, 20, 30 days out, also every hour to 2 hours. What we're trying to do now is have model data that forecast every minute. So if a tornado is on the ground, it'll tell you where it's going to be 1 minute from now, the next minute, and that model data is only as good as the data that's being put into it. So if you get data from that's right there live being put into this model data, it can hopefully, forecast exactly where the tornado's going to go. But we're a long ways from, but it's a great start, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's great. More information, the better.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Tonight, no severe weather. We've had a little bit of wind, a little bit of hail. We've had some rain today, but no flooding, a little bit of hail in southwestern Oklahoma. And right now, it's still down there, but this, again, complex of rain and storms pushing towards central Oklahoma out of the southwest. Nothing out of control out of this, but hey, we'll take it. A little more heavy rain, and it's not going to hang around long enough to give us any flooding, okay? That's the good news. Now, earlier in the day, when we had all that rain pushing through, that's now in northeastern Oklahoma. That continues to push out, and you can see the spin going on down here. This is the actual upper storm system coming on out. The atmosphere is not very unstable, but there's enough instability that we're getting some small hail, gusty winds, about 40 miles per hour. And this, again, this big mess is kind of swinging off to the northeast. So eventually, I think this will come into Oklahoma City overnight tonight with possibly winds 30, maybe 40 miles per hour, some small hail, lightning and thunder, and heavy downpours of rain. And then as the night moves along, this will go ahead and kind of pass us on by. But Rush Springs, it's knocking on your door, down to Marlow, down to Duncan. Heavy rain in this, gusty winds. That's going to head up towards Norman and Purcell, at least this line is. Another thunderstorm on top of Granfield right now. And out west, heavier storms now south of Elk City. Basically almost moving due east. So Cordell, Hobart, Willow, get ready. Heavy rain coming, small hail, and quite a bit of lightning and thunder. And here in Oklahoma City, nothing going on now. There's the big shield of rain we had earlier in the day. That's now in northeastern and eastern Oklahoma, slowly moving out. But this will be our show for tonight. And again, nothing crazy out of that. But again, we're tracking it nonetheless. Here's your timeline. Now coming into Chickasha right now. Look at your timeline here. Union City just before 11 o'clock. Blanchard at 11:12. El Reno 11:14. And downtown Oklahoma City at about 11:50. So just before midnight, it'll start to scoot across the central and southwestern parts of the metro with, again, rain, some of that heavy from time to time, a little bit of some small hail and gusty winds. Okay, that's going to be about it. And, of course, lightning and thunder. Today's rainfall amounts, 1/4 of an inch, just above that in Guthrie, to nearly 3/4 of an inch in Midwest City. El Reno, just over 1/2 inch. Look at Fort Cobb, nearly an inch. Let's back out just a bit. The heaviest rain today fell in western and southwestern Oklahoma, where you still need the rain. The lakes are still fairly low out here. Altus Lugert, you're still really low. So we just keep putting water out there in the streams and the rivers, and that will eventually fill those lakes up, and there is still more rain coming for sure. All right, it's on its way. Here in Oklahoma City right now, a little bit of light ground fog from our Air Comfort Skycam network, live from American Fidelity, looking northbound at the Broadway extension. 64 degrees with a 60 dew point right now. So the atmosphere, yeah, it's moist. 60 in Ponca City, 61 down in Ada, and a 63 now in Hobart. Look at the spin going on coming out of Amarillo. This is our storm that we've been talking about since last week, and it is now in southwestern Oklahoma. This will move on by as we get into tonight. And then for most of us tomorrow, I think it looks fairly quiet. Okay, lows tonight in the low 60s with a south breeze, and overnight, the chance of showers and storms in the west will spread north and east again. So we'll do a 60% chance for some scattered rain, a few embedded thunderstorms overnight. We're not really talking about anything, though, severe. Highs tomorrow in the 80s with a south wind. Tomorrow, slight chance for a couple of showers. Not a big deal right now. A little bit better chance late tomorrow evening for a few showers and storms in southwestern Oklahoma, possibly making it. And then for Friday, highs in the 70s and 80s. I think we'll have a pretty good wave of showers and storms move through on Friday. And this could be right now in the morning and early afternoon. The big question is, where's the dry line going to be? Right now, it looks like the dry line will be way out in the Texas Panhandle. Might have a few storms push towards western Oklahoma Friday evening late into Friday night. And then for Saturday, the atmosphere is going to be very dynamic, and again, the problem, or it's a good problem to have, is how much instability will we have in place, all right? The more unstable you are, the higher risk for the higher end severe weather, including large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. But if we have several waves of rain and storms on Saturday, that'll keep that instability down. But we're tracking it. 60% shot for showers and storms Friday, 80% chance Saturday. Saturday looks wet. Sunday, dry. Monday, dry. Another wave of rain and storms by Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. We'll be here tonight tracking some small hail, gusty winds, lightning, and thunder. Guys, back to you.
No, you will, David. Thank you. We do need to pass this along. Breaking news. Oklahoma City police are responding to a drive-by shooting at Northeast 26th and Phillips. That's just northeast of the state capitol. Right now, we know one person has been loaded up by IMSA and taken to an area hospital. We have no word on their condition, and police say so far they don't have any suspect information. We will keep you posted on that, though, if we get anything new. Right now, though, time to give away $1,000. News 9 is giving away $1,000 every day as part of our Grand in Your Hand giveaway. Text the word ROAD to 79640 for your chance to win, and then we'll give you another chance to enter tomorrow on News 9 this morning, and then on News 9 at 6. Good luck.
Hockey in Oklahoma City coming to an end. See what the Barons did tonight to help keep their championship hopes alive. Sports is next.
Hold on to your hats, Oklahoma. It's David Stanley Chevrolet's first ever truck extravaganza.
One big sale, 2 great locations.
Silverado is #1, and so is David Stanley. Celebrate with in-stock Silverados at 75% of MSRP.
And it's back.
Purchase a new Silverado.
Get a Chevy Spark at no extra charge.
And at David Stanley Chevrolet, everybody rides with approved credit.
Please, no dealers or wholesalers.
On I-35 in Norman and I-240 in OKC.
Riverwind is not just OKC's most rewarding casino, but it's also OKC's most awarded casino. Reader's Choice 7 years in a row, and the Gazette's Best of OKC also 7 years running. Riverwind Casino, OKC's most rewarding casino experience.
The storms have come and gone, but the savings are coming to you here at Fowler Toyota. As you can see, 500 vehicles. Minor damage, major damage. You get the insurance money, you get the cash rebates, and you get the incentives on over 500 Toyotas and used vehicles. It's our storm and hail damage sale. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here at Fowler Toyota, Tecumseh Road in Norman.
If your electricity is almost half off on smart hours, why wouldn't you switch?
It was easy to save because we just made small changes and it really adds up.
For our family, it was a significant savings. Just by using less energy during those peak hours, it made a huge difference.
If you live in an energy efficient house and then are a part of a program like this where you could save more money, it's just a bonus.
I'm seeing savings with the LED bulbs, so my friends are getting my old CFLs that still work, and I'm getting the new bulbs.
Nothing makes a burger better than bacon and barbecue, and nobody builds it better than Brahms. A big third pound of 100% pure beef, 2 slices of pepper jack cheese, hickory smoked bacon, rings of onions and pickles. Then we pour on the rich, thick barbecue sauce. Oh man, a bigger, better built barbecue bacon burger for a limited time at your neighborhood Brahms. Oh yeah.
Hurry to Pattison Honda. Our second annual Cut It sales event is on. Every Honda is cut to the bone. Buy a 2015 Accord was $23,995. Now $19,995. Or a 2015 Civic was $19,995. Now $16,995. Plus every vehicle comes with oil changes for life. But it'll all end soon at Pattison Honda, 8700 Northwest Expressway.
PattisonHonda.com. Riverwind is not just OKC's most rewarding casino, but also has the most ways to play. The latest, the greatest, and the winningest. Only at Riverwind Casino, OKC's most rewarding casino experience.
Driven by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, this is News 9 Sports with Dean Blevins.
A second Sooner running back transfers. Our lead here at the Midwest Sports Desk. Hi, everyone. 4 young, gifted Sooner running backs. Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon, Alex Ross, and Rodney Anderson. Not mentioned by Keith Ford, but surely 4 of the reasons the 2014 Game 1 starter is transferring. A broken leg in Game 3 against Tennessee cost him 5 games and his starting position. Well respected by players and coaches, the Cypress, Texas junior was suspended indefinitely in March for academic and team rules violations. Ford's parents later said he hadn't recovered physically or mentally from the injury. Ford said today the past 2 years at OU has been a great experience. However, after my injury last season, I never fully recovered. And since that time, I had a chance to evaluate my role at OU with my family and decided it's time to start a new chapter. Sooners hosting a 4-team NCAA regional beginning Friday, but today becoming the first in Big 12 history to capture each of the 4 major end-of-the-season awards. 4th straight and 8th overall Patty Gasso Coach of the Year. Shelby Penley, 2-time Player of the Year. Pitcher of the Year, Paige Parker, also Co-Freshman of the Year. The Oklahoma City Barons trail Utica 2-1 in the Western Conference semifinals, but at home the next 2 nights in games 4 and 5. Could be the final 2 in Oklahoma City history. Barons strike first. Darnell Nurse with 3 assists feeds Jajar Kara 1-0. It's tied in the second. The Comets attack. First shot, no good, but Alex Friesen there for the putback goal. Utica up 3-2, but the Barons dominate the rest of the way. Matthew Ford slaps it out of midair. Impressive goal. The Barons win 7-4. The series is tied. Playoffs, a perk scrum, and Special Olympics when we're back in a flash.
Trade days are back.
Only at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge on I-35.
NormanDodge.com.
We'll trade for anything. Cars, boats, bikes, even dirty old couches. Buy a new Dodge Dart.
Under 12 grand.
Or a new Jeep Wrangler.
5,000 off.
And we'll buy your trade even if you don't buy ours.
Trade days.
Need help with financing?
Got a job? Get a car.
Everybody rides with approved credit.
Only at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram on I-35 in Norman.
NormanDodge.com.
This is CBS
CVS Health Watch.
And you see that one of the major side effects of prostate treatment is incontinence. You start to worry about it. It's just going to impact my lifestyle, the way I live, and what I want to do every day.
The side effects of prostate cancer treatment can be complicated. Talk to your doctor and learn about all your treatment options.
I'm very satisfied with the results, and I have no side effects whatsoever.
Sponsored by ProCure Proton Therapy. Learn more about proton therapy for prostate cancer at ProCure.com.
Save thousands
at Jim Norton Toyota.
Take 0 for 60 and save $4,000 on every new 2015 Corolla.
$6 grand on every Camry. $6 grand.
Or save $10 grand on every new 2015 Grumax Tundra.
In the savings zone.
Plus, get oil changes for life.
At Jim Norton Toyota, 8401 Northwest Expressway.
Jim Norton Toyota.
OKC.com.
Welcome to the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. We're building some of the nation's finest healthcare facilities right here in Southeast Oklahoma, opening the door to new innovations in healthcare. The Choctaw Nation is investing in our children's future. Summer education, team sports, and summer camps keep our youth focused on achievement year-round. Through hard work and perseverance, our legacy lives.
We've been thinking, a pitcher who can paint the corners is known as a Rembrandt. Who doesn't love that kind of precision? At GMC, we get that. Not everyone can deliver a 95 mile an hour Rembrandt. This is precision. This is GMC. Now during the GMC Spring Sales event, get over $9,000 total value on specially equipped 2015 Sierra models in stock the longest. Welcome to the show.
I didn't know that there were abandoned oil well sites on the property, but it turns out there were 3 of them. We saw those commercials, but never did we ever dream that it was going to happen out here. OARB came out and they cleaned up these old sites for us. And when you look at what they've done, it's absolutely fantastic. This whole plan out here is for the grandkids and just generations to come. The process is simple. Pick up the telephone. It's worth a phone call. Trust me, it's worth it.
Do you like magic? Yeah, I guess so. Wow. I'm just kidding. It's the hands-free smart lift gate. The key's in my pocket. So can I take it for a test drive? Yes! Let's go find someone who works here.
Now lease the Santa Fe Sport for $269 a month for 36 months, or get up to $1,250 in total savings. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Competition begins in the 46th Annual Special Olympics Oklahoma Summer Games in Stillwater. More than 5,000 athletes will participate in everything from bocce to golf to track and field and basketball. John Holcomb emceed tonight's opening ceremonies, along with the voice of the Cowboys, Larry Reese. He's fighting throat cancer, but had tonight's circle for a while.
I said, I really want to be back. I want my comeback on the microphone to be Special Olympics Oklahoma opening ceremony, so I'm so glad I'm here. You absolutely love their enthusiasm and their zest for life, and you can't dampen their spirits with a little rain. They don't care. I wish we could tap into their enthusiasm in our everyday life.
Great to see Larry back and the kids. Perk involved in a roadside altercation with his wife this morning. According to Ohio police, no one injured or cited. The Perkins say only verbal, but a witness told 911 a woman is hitting the man trying to get out of the car. Vanity took the SUV, and the police drove Perk home.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll save the NBA scores for later.
Soap operas moved to
Hard
Cleveland.
to follow that.
Yeah.
Well, rain coming through. You're going to be here?
I'll be here between 11 and midnight. A little bit of light rain, maybe a clap or two of thunder. We're here.
Good night.
The all-new David Stanley Ford.
Now on I-40 in Midwest City.
DavidStanleyFord.com.
Grand opening celebration.
Where we'll beat any bona fide deal or give you $10,000 cash.
Guaranteed.
The all-new 2015 F-150s are here.
We'll beat any bona fide deal.
And everybody rides with approved credit.
The all-new David Stanley Ford in